Ocha Squad, look, man, today is Comedy Sundays, all right? This is the schedule, okay? If you're new to my channel, this is where I rest at different things on different days, all right? Check that schedule out. Without further ado, we got Josh Johnson, man. That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because we got the same name. This is like literally my doppelganger from like a different universe, a different multiverse, bro. Like, he's the more successful version of me with a little bit of clout. You know what I'm saying? 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I'm the less successful, no clout at all. Barely got 3K on YouTube, bro. Hopefully in my universe, man, I'll be able to get my following and everything up too, man. I don't want to be the one at the bottom. I don't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy we got the same name, bro. It's like people say it's a small world, but that shows you how big the world really is, bro. Because somebody could literally have your exact name. Somebody could look literally exactly like you, whatever. You never know. All that stuff, man. But look, we finna check out Josh Johnson, man. See how funny he is. A comedian on the rise. That's what you see. That's what you're hearing, man. I see him on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? A few times. I'm like, let me go ahead and react to him a little bit more, like more of a lengthy video, you know? So we finna get straight to it, man. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want me to react to any more comedians or anything funny, leave it down below. Leave recommendations in the comments, and I'll try to get to them on Comedy Sundays. All right, let's go.
Up right now for the one and only Josh Johnson!
Thank you. Thank you.
I reflected a lot and I came up with a lot of New Year's resolutions this year. I don't normally do it. I almost never do New Year's resolutions, but this year I had kind of a bunch because it just so happened I was really thinking about myself and life when the time came. And the problem with New Year's resolutions, the reason that they're so hard to keep is that a year is a year long. If you could make a New Year's resolution and really only had to do it for like 3 weeks, you knock it out of the park. But there's something about the fifth Monday where you're like, again?
It's so crazy because, like, you know how people say new year, new me, they want to go into the gym. I work in the gym, right? You see that all the time. People come in for like 2 or 3 weeks, so they sign up for personal training and they stop coming. Like, I don't know what it is with human beings. We just don't know how to stay committed to a lot of things. This is why everybody's not successful. This is why everybody's not a millionaire. You know what I mean? This is why everybody don't chase their dreams. They give up or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
And I think we should all cut ourselves some slack, genuinely, when you have trouble making your New Year's resolution a habit or sticking to it, because New Year's resolutions are as old as calendars. So as long as we've been keeping track, we've been trying to be better and failing. It's very human. And our New Year's resolutions, by and large, are things that we're gonna do or stop doing to stop hurting ourselves. If you read through history and you go back to the New Year's resolutions of whole civilizations, right? The Babylonians, the Romans, these people would have ceremonies, and usually a lot of what they did, a lot of their New Year's resolutions was to appease their gods or the tribe at large. It wasn't just about them. And all of our New Year's resolutions, for the most part, are things we're gonna stop doing or start doing to stop hurting ourselves. They had New Year's resolutions to stop hurting other people. You read back in history, there were just New Year's resolutions of whole tribes that were like, this year, y'all, we not gonna pillage. We were doing too much last year. We were pillaging over here, pillaging over here. Not everything needed to be pillaged. We need to start focusing on us, all right? Even probably had a tribe leader came up with a slogan, we not gonna pillage, we gonna be a village.
That's a good one, though. That's a good slogan.
No, it's as old as time. And admittedly, there are some modern New Year's resolutions. I do know a few people in my life that have had to make New Year's resolutions to stop hurting other people. You know, it's rare, but it does happen. Like, I had one friend nonchalantly said, you know what, this year, I'm gonna cut less people.
Hey Josh, who you hanging around, bro? I don't hang around people like that, bro. I'm solo dolo, bro. I normally stay to myself. Yeah, bro. We live in a different universe, my guy. I don't hang around people
First
like
of all,
that.
I didn't know she was cutting anybody.
Oh, it's
Second,
a girl. Okay.
your New Year's resolution is day one. Your New Year's resolution is to cut less. You didn't say none. None was an option.
Right.
The year hasn't happened yet. You haven't even met who will be worth cutting, and you're still like, I might maybe give them a pass. Said, I'm gonna cut less people, and I was like, what? Do you mean cut less people? They were like, oh, you know how it is. I hate being asked or told if or that I know how something is when I clearly have no idea how it is. Oh, you know how it is. You go out and somebody press you, and next thing you know, you holding the blade on you. It's like, what life do you think I'm leading? What life
Right.
are you leading? When are you doing this? I had a couple of New Year's resolutions. One of them was to focus on my health, which I'm already regretting. Genuinely, because this is my thing. When you try to focus on your health in the beginning of the year, you really think you're gonna do it, and that's why I'm making a New Year's resolution. If you tell me what I'm doing wrong, if you tell me what's wrong with me in like September, I'm probably gonna be like, then I'll die. Sorry. I like doing that. But if we're starting a new year and you're like, don't do that, I'll be like, okay, I'll try, right? No, but the problem is when you focus on your health, you have to go to the doctor. And going to the doctor is a little bit too exact and final for me. If something's wrong with me and I'm telling a friend about it and we're just sort of going back and forth, spitballing about what it could be, it's almost kind of fun. You're like, maybe it's that. Oh, maybe it's that. Let's Google it. Oh, we shouldn't have Googled it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But when you go to
bro.
the doctor's like, no, you sick. No. And basically, I had to go to the doctor pretty early because, all right, it's embarrassing to admit, but I feel like if I'm open, if I'm vulnerable about it, then it'll hopefully remove some of the stigma. Okay. I had to go to the doctor because too many, I would even say most of my farts were whistling. Okay, all right. So if you're going through what I'm going through and you hear that laughter, that's why I'm doing this, to try to break through, try to show the normalcy of what was happening to me. So basically, when I would fart, I don't even fart all the time, but every once in a while, you know, one goes, and it was just having at the tail end, very tail end, it was having just a little like to it. I didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't know why it was happening, but I was hearing it. And I'm not like a musician in that way. I don't know a lot of music theory, but it did seem like a bit of a D sharp to it. Like it had a little bit of that fire alarm band, a little bit of that at the very end, right? And so one day I was walking and I don't even remember the food that I had, but it hit me in the wrong way. And so I sounded like a piccolo. I was walking and my steps were just a little fluty. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I walk and listen to music. So I'll have my big old headphones on, they're noise canceling, so I can really enjoy the music and everything. And I knew I had a problem because the cut through it was so high of a pitch, it must have got under the noise canceler. And so I was just walking, and I don't know, once again, about you, but when I'm wearing my headphones, I'm listening to music, and I'm walking, it feels like I can fart however loud I want because I can't hear it, so then it must not be that bad. I know that's not actually how sound works, but it's just kind of what goes through my head while I'm doing it. And I was walking,
Yeah,
I just
bro.
heard it, sort of like, do you remember? this. And I was like, uh-oh. I should probably talk to somebody. And so I did. I went to the doctor. And when I got to the doctor, I had a bit of an issue because I even tried to use as many big words as I could to describe what was happening to lessen the blow of what I had to say. So I was like, my flatulence is having some orchestral notes to it. And the doctor was like, what? And I'm like, don't do that. One of the main reasons I hate going to the doctor is because if you're a doctor, and especially if you're older than me and you're a doctor, I'm assuming you've been a doctor for a while, right? And if you've been a doctor for a while, then I'm assuming you've seen a lot of stuff. But somehow, when I go to the doctor and I tell them my problem, they've never heard of it before. You got all these encyclopedias in here with all these diagrams of people's bodies and stuff, but then I tell you what I'm having, you're like, what? And then I just made it simple. I was like, look, my farts are whistling. He was like, what? And I was like, that's worse. What happened to bedside manner? And so, he fixed it. I'm fine now. It doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, basically there was something going on where I had pretty much like overexerted myself, and he explained it better, but I guess my organs were kind of like a Tom and Jerry configuration, and it was just making me whistle at the very end, and then it went back to normal. My second New Year's resolution.
Bruh.
Was to be very mindful about what I do and say on a podcast. Now, I'm not perfect, but this has been the downfall of a lot of people. I'm not even saying that there's never gonna be a podcast where I talk out of pocket. I don't know. It's just talking. And it's so much talking that along the way, you say something dumb or something that doesn't age well or something that you don't even really think, maybe just talking, right? You get anybody to talk for hours and hours and hours, and eventually they'll say something pretty dumb. So I'm trying to be mindful about what I do and say on a podcast, because when podcasts started, before there was a ton of money in it, it was just one of two things. It was either people who had such a great rapport with each other that listening to them felt like listening with them, like being there with them and just having a party with your friends, and it was an interesting conversation that you felt like you were a part of, right? Or there was a very interesting person, an incredibly interesting person, and then someone had them on their podcast who was a good interviewer. And through giving a good interview, they pulled all of these interesting and beautiful things out of this very interesting person and then gave it to you. And so you either got some sort of education from it or you got some sort of community from it, right? And now, podcasts, I think we made too many microphones.
Yeah.
Because now it's a genuine mess. Like I watched what I think was maybe one of the most important podcast clips of all time, one that exactly, perfectly describes what I'm kind of talking about. Mike D has a podcast, and in that podcast he was talking to OG Tulo, a rapper. And while he was talking to him, OG Tulo reaches into his pocket and somehow shoots himself in the leg.
Oh, I saw that.
I'm encouraging everyone to watch this clip because it's truly one of the most important moments in podcasting ever. I had so many questions when I saw this man shoot himself in the leg. First of all, what gun is little enough? But also, what pocket is big enough? Because you can't see a gun. He's literally got his hand in his pocket, which means there's a gun and his hand in his pocket. How deep are these pockets? They're like optical illusions. This man reaches in to his pocket, and I want to be clear here, okay? OG Tulo and Mike D, they weren't having some sort of argument. Mike D wasn't coming at him. It's not like he was reaching in his pocket to grab his gun. If anything, it looked like he was reaching in his pocket for something else. And can I just say, don't put your gun in your pocket. But if you do, make sure your gun is the only thing in that pocket. Please do not put your gun and your keys in your pocket. I'm begging you not to put your gun and your phone in your pocket. Because this man looks like he's trying to move the gun. When you rewatch it, I've watched it 2,000 times. It looked like he's trying to move the gun out the way to get something else. And I'm telling you, it's not worth it to have your gun and your gum in the same pocket. This dude reaches into his pocket. Bam! And then Mike D, who's sitting across from him, Mike D goes, "Who shot who?"
He did say something like that, I ain't gonna lie. Somebody shooting?
They're facing each other. He turns to the cameras out there where the people are, who I guess are producing the podcast. And he turns to them and goes, "Who shot who?" Somebody got shot? Sir, how often are people shooting each other at your studio for the first question to be, "Who shot who?" He didn't say who shot who as
That's
in
true.
like, "Oh no, a gun went off." He turned as if to say, "Y'all, we are trying to do something."
That's crazy.
This man turns, "Who shot who?" Somebody got shot? When you look for the clip, OG Tulo, now that's O, letter O, G, letter G, we're capital letters, the number 2, like an email, OG Tulo, right? OG Tulo is fascinating to me because there are a lot of rappers who their name is not, it's not true to who they are as a person, right? But to his credit, OG Tulo shoots himself in the leg and only goes, his reaction to shooting himself in the leg, all he does is go, "Ooh." This man doesn't cry, he doesn't freak out, he just makes the face you make when you drop a casserole, just, ooh. You know the face you make when you get caught coming home after curfew, you in the dark, you think you made it, then the lights come on and you're like, ooh. He makes the face you make when there's like 2 people arguing out in the world and you don't know either one, but then one of them is like, "That's why I took your man." Ooh. This man simply goes, "Ooh." And then a person behind the camera calls out and goes, "Lo, you good?" There are a few things I hate more than being asked if I'm good when I should not be good. When I'm...
It's always black people saying that shit too, bro. That's the craziest thing about it, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy, bro. I gotta rewatch that clip, bro, because it's like, bro, hey, man, I'm gonna end it right here, bro. I gotta get ready and go to sleep, man. I might have to do a part 2 to this, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But real talk, though, hey, shout out to my doppelganger, me from a different multiverse, man. A different Josh Johnson. Hey, I gotta give it to bro. Hey, he got a good audience. He got a good following, man. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he keep doing this thing, which I'm pretty sure he will. You know what I mean? Salute to Josh Johnson. Great storyteller, especially in his whole comedy routine, man. Hey, if you want me to react to more Josh Johnson, man, or anybody else or anything else funny, check the schedule out. Look for Comedy Sundays. Leave recommendations down below. Join the Ultra Squad, all right? We out.